Okay, it occurred to me that I've never brought you guys down on the actual walk down to where I get a bath at, where I clean up. So I'm going to try and take you down there without making anybody sick, and to there's a little lizard running around the ground, without making anybody sick, and not pointing you at the ground or the sky too much. And chances are you're just going to see a bunch of trees, trees, more trees, but anyway. I do follow a deer path that goes down there, and I did go ahead and flag part of it, because if you don't walk down there about every day or every other day, as fast as this was growing over in the spring, I lost the trail like once or twice. I mean, I found my way, it was no problem, but I just wanted to go ahead and tag it anyway, just for myself. So, all right, here we go. You see, there's a cabin shed. I have a salt block out for the deer right there. It's sitting on a stump, and the deer come up. I think the deer come up about, once a week for sure, because I see them, but I'm sure that they probably come more often than that, and I just don't see them. So. I don't know what kind of a tree has been dropping these flowers. There's not a lot of smell to them, but I find them on the ground. I don't know what they're going to turn into. So. Here you can see the trail. Probably better at this point, if you can see. I'm gonna try and keep you somewhat level, just because I mean, you can tell if I'm standing upright and the trees are upright, you can see the slope. Actually, there's a bunch of blackberries right there. You can see through the trees. They're all in flower right now. I'll show you the waterfall. Let me get down a little bit closer. I think probably the easiest way to show you the waterfall would be take you to it when I'm done getting cleaned up. The waterfall's down there, you can see. There was one time I was walking along before there was any leaves on this, and I always watch the ground for snakes, and I happened to look up at this branch, this little skinny branch right here, and there was a snake sitting right on there. And I didn't know what kind of snake it was, and you can see right here is it's almost kind of a straight off the edge down to where the creek is, and I clean up down there, and the water's going that way. So as much as I don't like snakes and I wanted to knock his little butt off this perch and into the thing, I was like, well, if I do that, then with my luck he'll just fall down the slope, land in the water, and then I'll be down there trying to clean up and he'll come floating down. So I walked around him. I usually don't bother snakes too much. I don't like them at all. You know, nothing, spiders and bugs and stuff don't bother me. I don't like snakes. You can see there's one of the flags I put on the tree. Oops. Stepped on a rock. I always double check when I'm coming up to this log, because it's like, you know, the perfect place for a snake. So, or some critter. There's a butterfly wing. It's a good snake stump or some critter to hide in, you know, and then I go walking by. Not that it would, well, a snake might kill me depending on what kind, but, you know, I really don't want to just get bit, so. Right here, a little step down. So you can see it's pretty nice here. It's quiet. The water's really not that deep right now. Well, I don't know how deep it gets, you know, when there's a lot of rain, but up that way a little bit, there's a lot deeper spot, a deeper hole. Actually, I think once I'm done getting cleaned up, I'll bring you guys up there. I'll show you the waterfall from this side instead of looking down, and then we'll take a walk around just a little bit so you can see some other things. I heard some noises over there. I always double check. One time a little herd of cows, well, not herd, about 5 cows came wandering by while I was down here trying to take a bath. And they didn't see me. And so I finished taking my bath, and then I got up, I started walking up the side of the hill, then they saw me, they all kind of like scattered. So I'm glad they didn't come down in the creek or go in the higher end upstream in the creek, because I guess cattle, when they get into water, tend to urinate or, you know, go to the bathroom. So I would not be happy if that happened. Anyway, all right, I'm going to turn this off. I actually a while back took a video of me for my wife when I was taking a bath, just to show her what it's like down here. That was before there were so many leaves on the trees. If I wait a little bit, the sun will get a little bit higher, and you see this is kind of in shade right now. It'll have sun on it, and it's a little bit nicer when there's sunshine on it. But you know, when you want to get cleaned up so you can get on with your day, I'm gonna run into town as well and pick up a book. So anyway, I'm just standing here running my mouth. Let me go ahead and turn this off and get cleaned up. Okay. Got cleaned up. I'll show you. This is my little spot where I get cleaned up. This is generally my view because I'm sitting down getting cleaned up. So that's my view when I'm getting cleaned up. It's not a bad view. It's been a time or two when the water's been really, really chilly, but for the most part, it's been nice, and once you're in, it's pretty refreshing, and then you don't want to get out because you relax. But anyway, I'll walk you up the creek to where the waterfall is. Oh, sorry. There's a pretty, I guess it was a damselfly, but it was big for a damselfly. I don't think it was a dragonfly. I learned to pick my feet up. Now, this area here is actually, it's relatively new. We didn't have, they had some flooding this past winter, and this got washed out, and now it's actually kind of a deep little swimming hole. I think in the future there's just some debris in the bottom from leaves and stuff that fell in. I'll probably get in there and clean it out, and then be able to come down and use it for a little swimming hole. You can see it's if you can see, it's not really deep. I don't know, probably about 2 feet, 2.5 feet. So, I wonder what made that. It's a pretty big. There's another one there. And my footprints, of course, from earlier. So, I'll walk you up here. It's a great big Winnie the Pooh tree right there. Now that one stick that's laying across tree, that's a recent addition. It used to not be there. I may come down here with a come along and drag it out of the way just for aesthetics. You can see the Winnie the Pooh tree. It's hollow. It's got some old fencing wrapped around it. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to slip because these rocks are slippery. Tell you what, we'll go around. Sorry, we'll go around and walk up the rest of the way to the edge of my property, and then walk up to the shed that way. So hold on. We're going to navigate these really slippery rocks and make our way to the top of the fall. There we go. Now, this property that we're standing on now belongs to my neighbor, and the property on that side is ours. There you go. There. Another little deep spot there. Come up here. I'm sorry about that. Now you can see, unfortunately, for many years, there's farmers that would just push stuff off the side. They didn't have trash pickup. They would bury it or push it off to the side. And unfortunately down here, there's a bunch of, it's kind of like a wire fencing. It's caught up in the trees. I don't know where it came from. My brother and I, a couple years ago, actually took quite a bit. We hooked a come along to it. It pulled out a great big chunk of it, and we drug it up the creek, up onto my property, well, our property, and then later on took it to the side of the road where somebody came by and was able to dispose of it. So, but there's so much here, and a lot of it looks like it's been washed out from underneath now, so it'd be easier to get out. The problem is not just getting it out, but getting it out of here up to the road, and then disposing of it. So I may talk to my neighbor. It's actually on his property. His father-in-law owned it, who passed away, and he originally gave me permission to go ahead and pull some of it out or get it out. But I think it would be easier to try and pull it out from my neighbor's side. So I may talk to him and see if we can't work something out to come give him a hand, and we'll get it out up to the side of the road on his end. So at least it's out of here. So anyway, back to the creek. Now we're coming up to the corner of our property, and the shed that I'm staying in is pretty much right up there. You go straight through those trees. Sorry about your view if I'm waving you around. It's not intentional. Up here is where two creeks meet. You can see over there. This is coming up to the corner of our property, right up here. And what I do is I'll come down here. This is where I get my water from. I tried, I mean, when I first got here, I was drinking the water. I was just drinking the water from in town. I would pick it up in town, and then I started getting the water out of the creek, and I would boil it. And now if I go to drink the other water, it tastes terrible. It tastes either, you know, like a lot of chlorine or bleach or something. I'd rather, what I'll do is I'll get a couple gallons of water from down here and carry it up to the shed. And I have a big a pot, like a stainless steel pot. And when I make a campfire, I'll just set it there, and within about 20 minutes it's boiling. So then I'll pull it off, and you know, there you go. I got my water. So right here is the corner marker for our property. It actually goes out to the middle of the creek, but they couldn't do that. Now there's where the two creeks meet. We got one creek that comes down from here, and one creek that comes down from here, and then it follows down that way. So I'll show you, come right up here. One thing you have to be careful of around here is barbed wire. I mean, this is a farming community, and pretty much all the property around here has been farmed for a while. So you have to watch for barbed wire because it's everywhere, or significantly, quite a few places actually. So I took the weed eater and cleared this out a little bit, because you start winding up with wild rose growing here. You can see right there, that's blackberry, but there's wild rose that grows all through here, and it'll jump up and grab you. Here we go. We're back to the shed. Okay, step in here out of the sun. I'm gonna run into town. I've got to get a couple things, but you know, today was I'm pretty much done working for today, so I'll go into town, probably grab something to eat, and then be back. I might have a campfire tonight, I don't know. So there we go. Home sweet home. You guys have a great day.